Here's a question for coming in from Hollywood J for us. Bigger moment, Kawhi drops the buzzer beater or the Springer dinger?
Well, I would say Kawhi because it was,
Me and my friends were having that debate last night as well.
And we're on now, by the way.
For me, Toronto feels more like a Jays city than a Raptors city. That's why I would take Springer. But that Kawhi shot was like, it was game 7. It was the final play of this was game 7 too. So what am I even saying? I would take the Springer shot, but like that Kawhi or the Springer dinger, but that Kawhi shot was huge.
They are both awesome moments in Toronto sports history regardless, but I would for me, Canada is more of a baseball city than it is a basketball city. And
well, the Jays have won 2 World Series. They historically speaking, they've been far more successful than the Expos were. And for them to get back and look, this team has flaws and they're playing the Dodgers. But even no matter what happens from here on in, this has been a dream season for this team.
You look back to the beginning of spring training, myself, yourself, we were all saying this team probably is going to stink. They are probably going to finish, last in their division, second last in their division. They're not going to make the playoffs. And then everybody comes out and you can't underestimate heart. And that's exactly what this team has.
Can I ask you guys a question quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Because in basketball or in football, like when someone signs, like a 5-year, $250 million contract and they get 1 title, it's kind of like, okay, that contract is now worth it. When you look at a guy like Vladdy, who's on a 14-year, $500 million deal, is 1 title enough to justify that contract? Does he have to win multiple? Does he have to just get there? Like, when do we fall into the realm of what justifies that price tag?
My opinion is that it does, but it also, not signing Vladdy meant that they were going to take a step back and you had to sign him. That's my feeling, because the Jays have been competitive for a long, long time, and Vladdy is inconsistent or has been inconsistent, but you see what he can do. He's got 2 strikeouts and 6 home runs or some damn thing in the postseason. And so I think they had to sign him. But yeah, I would say winning a World Series makes it all worthwhile.
If they wouldn't have signed Vladdy, they simply put would have probably been in rebuild mode. That's just, I think, the true fact behind if they wouldn't have signed him. And if you would have waited, now having this postseason, it would have taken more money to sign Vladdy. So for me, the deal in and of itself, regardless of results of this postseason, if they win or don't, the deal's worth it based on your team gets to remain relevant. And now this summer, you get to go and spend more money.
So you think like if they never win a title with Vladdy on that contract, it'll be fine just because they had to avoid a rebuild?
Well, he was the guy you brought him in with Bichette. This is the new Jays. This is the heart of the order for the next however long. And they hadn't really done much. And it was a pressure point. And if, as Donovan said, you'd have to restart again. And you're asking people to pay money to go watch the team. I just think that this in the life of the Toronto Blue Jays, signing Guerrero was vital. And I mean, we talked about it. They had so many false starts, Declan. Ohtani's flying to Toronto. No, he's not.
They were tracking the plane, and it was Robert Herjavec of Shark Tank.
Right. So
Juan Soto, he's coming to Toronto.
Right. So this is Vladdy is the Soto. Vladdy is the Ohtani. You can say he's not that, but he is the Toronto fans. And now they're in the World Series. By the way, we know the Oilers are playing. We're going to talk about that on Rumors on the way. We have Rachel Krychak coming up at 12:40 to talk about her Jays experience, but also the Oilers. And at 1:20 today, Daniel Nugent-Bowman. What is our subject matter today? I'm hoping it's a baseball player on Hi, My Name Is.
Yeah, I'm going to go a bit of a different direction today. I'm not going to give you guys the sport. But, and that
because that's too much.
That may sound daunting initially, but I'm going to give you someone who is incredibly credentialed. So there are only like a few players, not a few, but there's only a handful of athletes throughout history who can fit the mold of all the accolades they have. Shohei, could be a guess at 140. We'll save it for then, obviously.
The guy on my World Series on my jersey. Who's George Springer, baby?
Knock George Springer. It'll be. I think you guys will get it, but it's gonna be kind of vague, kind of general, and I won't give you the sports.
Okay, Northside Lou, Lowetide, Who Killed the Expos is on Netflix today. Are you watching? I'm going to tape it, and I will watch it, but I got other things I've got to do tonight. But I will watch it. I'm looking forward to it, and I have my own list of culprits. Samson is number one on the list. All right. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at
Vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. It's Twang Tuesday for Wolf GMC Buick. I don't think we've had a Twang Tuesday without Jolene. Jack White did a version of that, by the way.
You seem to be such a fan of it. Like
I
it's just
love
such a,
Dolly Parton, and I love that song.
it's so natural to just throw in there.
She wrote that song the same day she wrote I Will Always Love You. Have anybody in
Is that
this
true?
room, yeah, like anybody in this room or any room had a day like that? Like you wake up, you pour yourself your morning coffee or tea, then you write like Jolene, and then it's like, oh, maybe go for a walk, pet the dog, come back, write I Will Always Love You. I mean, what do you do for an encore? Order pizza. Not
Listen
bad.
to Lowetide.
Well, there you go. Or watch George Springer hit a home run. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future with GreatCanadianSolar.com. The lines and pairings for tonight are a little interesting. Kasperi Kapanen's going to be out for some time, and that will give them a little bit of room in LTIR when Zach Hyman comes back. But the lines tonight against Ottawa are McDavid with Podkolzin and Draisaitl, Nuge with Mangiapane and Roslovic, Philp with Savoy and Frederick, keeping Savoy out of the top six. You don't want that. Philp with Frederick and Savoy is an interesting line, though. And then Henrique playing his 1,000th NHL game, along with Ike Howard and David Tomasic, who draws back into the lineup. Ekholm with Bouchard on the blue line. Nurse with Jake Wallman playing his first game of the year. Kulak, Emerson, and Skinner. I will note that in the last game, the Kulak-Emerson pairing played more at 5-on-5 than Nurse Stetcher, and that's on merit. Nurse has struggled this year to start the year for the Edmonton Oilers, and it is a concern, and hopefully Wallman will be able to do something about it.
For me, Brett Kulak's been their best defenseman.
He probably has, yeah.
He leads them in plus minus. Brett Kulak has been really their only guy I've liked back there, actually.
they've had a tough time. Even Ekholm, who I really like, and Bouchard has had a tough time, no doubt about it. But I like him. I mean, I would like to think that this defense is going to be as strong as everybody thought. The Athletic rated them like as being brilliant.
Number one.
Yeah, and look, it's not happening, and I get that, and I understand. But you really would like to see, at some point in time, you'd really like to see this team perform the way you think they should. And I suspect they will. They got to start scoring 5-on-5, though. And people are talking about, well, the depth scoring isn't there. Well, Leon's got one 5-on-5 goal, and McDavid has none. And McDavid has passed up so many gorgeous opportunities in the high slot. Shoot the puck. He talked about doing it before the year started. I think sometimes even great players have crises of confidence, and he may be there.
Do you remember his quote from the beginning of the season? It was, I want to prove that scoring more than 50 goals wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
I've done 50 goals and 100 assists. I like scoring the goals more.
Yeah. Well,
let's prove it. Let's show that you're not just a one-time 50 goal scorer. Shoot the damn puck.
Dude, because that's shoot the puck and to look off opportunities to pass to Troy Stetcher. Like that's a different thing.
Like,
but
Stretcher wasn't even ready for the puck.
I've also said, man, like,
and it's Troy Stetcher.
Yeah, for sure. No disrespect, but it's Troy Stetcher. Like, let's be serious. And the other thing is, like, I don't really think he's a 50 or 60 goal scorer. Like, I think that season,
he had a one-off year.
Incredible as it was a one-off year.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's fair. I really don't think there's too much to argue about that. Ottawa's a weird team. They should be far better. We talked about this before the show. Their record is worse than Edmonton, not much, but a little bit. And I just said the Oilers should be, blowing them out here, and maybe it's going to go, opposite George. Maybe the Oilers are the ones that are going to get blown out.
Well, Shane Pinto tied for the NHL lead in goals so far this year, having an unbelievable start to the year with 7 goals in 6 games. But the thing with Ottawa, 5 goals against per game so far this year, which is
terrible,
awful. You have good goaltending, or should have good goaltending. You have, in theory, a pretty good blue line. You have a great forward group. I like this Sens team. I think they're going to bounce back, but this is kind of the maybe opposites attract type of game. Maybe we meet in the middle because the Oilers can't score for a lick right now, and the Sens can't defend a lick right now. So surely something's got to cave. Either the Sens are going to start to defend today, or the Oilers are going to start to score today. I don't know what we're going to see, but I'm very curious to see how this goes.
Out in Vegas, they're placing Mark Stone on injured reserve. Is that like an annual holiday in Vegas where, it's time to put Mark Stone on an injured reserve? And he'll be back around the time of the playoffs. There is something on the Oilers via Elliot Friedman and 32 Thoughts. It was yesterday's edition. They're talking about when Wallman is coming back, and he has now been activated, about trading Troy Stetcher. And you're always looking to keep as many defensemen as you can. And Kasperi Kapanen is on IR, so that saves them until Hyman arrives. But, Stetcher was the nurse whisperer for a lot of last season. And as much as I like Emerson, I wonder, do you think about trading Emerson because he might have higher value and he also isn't the nurse whisperer?
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
And he's younger.
Yeah.
Like there are some, but either way, you got to look at both players and think, what are you truly going to get for either of them? I don't think you're going to get very much. Like, you're obviously just going to get a late round pick for either, but I would also suggest Troy Stetcher's cheaper. Troy Stetcher, I think, has more trust from Chris Knobloch based on the playoff usage last year. I would probably lean to keeping Stetcher over Emerson myself, just based on, I think there's a little more trust there. And I think you could maybe get a little bit more based on the age for Emerson.
I agree with that. And Emerson it would be his 3rd team or 4th team, but he still needs development time, but he shows promise and he does some good things. NFL 2 games last night, Lions over Bucks and Seahawks, like anybody in Seattle was paying attention, over the Texans. Any thoughts on either of those games, Declan?
Yeah, for the first time ever, I wasn't really watching football.
Wow.
I know, crazy, wasn't it? I
Wow.
mean, listen, I saw a little bit of. I saw Jahmyr Gibbs's 80-yard touchdown. I don't want to speak on it too much because I didn't watch the game, so I don't want to sit up here and talk about something I didn't talk about. Sorry about that. Sorry for
That's
coming
okay.
in unprepared, but you know,
I do it.
it was
every
a
day. It's
baseball
no big
day.
deal.
that's
Sure it
how
was.
big of a baseball game
Yeah.
it was. That I was watching baseball instead of a doubleheader in football.
Now, I do have another football question. The reports now have no Dolphins firings are imminent, and Tua is going to remain the starting quarterback. So everything's going good in Miami.
Yeah, listen. Sorry, Donovan, go ahead.
I was just gonna say everything is very much not going all well in Miami, but I think we're at a point where like Mike McDaniel, for me, I have no problem with him as the coach. I know people will talk about Mike McDaniel till they're blue in the face. Oh, Mike McDaniel needs to be fired, fire him. Can Mike McDaniel play in their secondary?
No.
Can Mike McDaniel, throw 3 picks in a game? No. Can Mike McDaniel help the quarterback make can he help him read a defense? No. You watch Tua in that game. Tua, I'm sorry, no disrespect to Tua. He's had a nice career. He was really good. It's over. It's done. I'm, as a Dolphins fan, it's done. He's done.
Well, this is my thing. Obviously, all you said is, correct. He can't play on the field, but it's a heck of a lot easier to fire one coach than it is 22 starters.
That is true.
And this is my other issue with Mike McDaniel. And I think Josh kind of echoed this sentiment yesterday, that he doesn't really galvanize the team. Like, he's not an authoritative presence. Like, that thing he does where he's bros and he's joking around and he's ripping a vape on the sideline and he's getting his hair done up like an e-boy, even though he's the biggest nerd in sports. That's all well and cool when you're winning games. But when you're 1-6 and no one respects you, it's a little bit tougher to get things rolling in the right direction. Like, it's a lot easier to play for a coach like Mike Vrabel when you're 1-6, because he can galvanize the guys and let everyone know jobs are on the line and let everyone know that I'm coming down with the hammer, versus a guy like Mike McDaniel who sold himself on essentially being your friend and being a flashy coordinator. Like, there's just not a whole lot of will or desire to go to war for that guy.
I'm going to regret this. What is an e-boy?
Dak, you can explain that one.
Yeah, I mean, an e-boy. So
It's not a cribbage term.
So, okay, 5'11", 105 pounds, pale white skin.
Do we have one in the room?
Kind of curly hair. Josh, Sam, would you guys describe yourselves as e-boys?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No? Would you guys say it was accurate, my description?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, you were going to say something normal.
I was going to say, like, as much as look back to when they were good, look back to 2022. Like, was that the thought process on Mike McDaniel? No. The thought process on Mike McDaniel is this guy might be the best offensive coach in football.
And I still think he would be an amazing offensive coordinator somewhere. But there is a difference between being an offensive coordinator who gets to draw plays and call plays and being a head coach who has to be a leader. I don't think he's that leader.
He might not be the best leading coach in football, but I'm sorry.
They have a lot of problems.
What
like, it's
the
not
hell?
just him.
Tua might be the worst leading quarterback I've ever seen.
Well, he keeps getting concussed, for God's sake. And
No,
they
I
keep
know.
running out there.
Why are you going out into the media and basically selling out your guys? Why are you going out into the media and being like, oh yeah, we have guys showing up late? Mike McDaniel is all pro team, not my fault. This is like, what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to drop?
Dude, he's the head coach. Like, I get what you're saying. You have a lot of valid points, but you're also acting like he's just a guy who chills out with a clipboard. Like, he is the head coach. It starts and finishes with him.
Of course, but when Quinn Ewers looks better than Tua Tagovailoa, that's when you know you're screwed.
Quinn Ewers was sick.
But they're making the Jets look good. That's how bad.
Well, no,
this
they're
team
not.
is.
No,
The
they
Jets
actually beat the
They beat
Jets.
the Jets.
Jets are
beat the
0-7, right?
Yeah, the Jets are. That is Justin Fields' sayonara, buddy.
By the
You're
way,
done.
No, that's a
Should
tough
we do
one.
an entire show on Danny Dimes?
Indiana Jones.
He's deserved it.
You know what?
He looks
The
great.
Sam
man.
Darnold arc.
God. Like, he was Strutty right? Don't tell him.
Well, this is my thing with Daniel Jones. Like, he's playing phenomenal, and all the credit in the world to him. And he used to sling deep balls, and you were like, "Ooh, that's gonna get picked." Now he slings deep balls and you're like, the Colts are going to make something happen downfield. But I still kind of come back to like the Giants basically took on, what was it, $80 million of dead cap to not have him play on that football team. The Minnesota Vikings, who after they lost Sam Darnold and didn't know what they were going to do at the quarterback position, decided J.J. McCarthy, who granted was a top 10 pick, and Carson Wentz were better options than Daniel Jones. Like there was a real conversation he was going to have. It was going to be him or Anthony Richardson for the starting spot. Anthony Richardson is obviously terrible. Like all that factoring in, still, like he's played great. Don't get me wrong. But all that factoring in still makes me think like, man, I don't know. Like, is this still lightning in a bottle?
Is he going to have to like win a playoff game or two to convince you? Is that what's going to take?
Oh, they're going to win a playoff game.
For me, it comes down. It's exactly what I've seen with Sam Darnold. It is. I want to see finish out this year strong. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to finish out the year strong. But go into year 2 of whatever the next deal he gets is, wherever that is going to be, and have a nice start to year 2. I'm in that point with Sam Darnold where I look at Sam Darnold and think, you're a competent NFL quarterback. I believe in you. I'm going to be at the same point with Indiana Jones if he signs that next deal and comes out to next season and he looks good.
He should never leave the Colts.
No, he shouldn't.
No, he shouldn't. No. Clearly not.
Dude, I'm looking at their schedule. Like the Colts might go 14-3.
Yeah, they very well might. The other thing we should talk about from last night, Mike Evans.
What about Brandon Graham? He's re-signing with the Eagles. Okay, Mike Evans.
Well, Mike Evans, concussion and then as well broken collarbone.
Dude, okay. He got like the most clear concussion I've ever seen in my life. Dude, someone had a tweet that was like Mike Evans walking off to the sideline like he's a cartoon rat floating for cheese. And then Troy Aikman, I wonder what's wrong with him. Like it was the most obvious concussion I've ever seen, and all the commentators could do was talk about his past injury history. His head slammed off the turf.
It's awful. When that happens in basketball, you just cringe, right? It gets almost like a vomit. It's like, it's bad.
Nightmare season for Mike Evans. The hamstring first, and then you come back and you're already injured again with the concussion and then the collarbone. Like, so he's going to miss basically the rest of the regular season. Emeka Egbuka. He's now the wide receiver 1, and it's happened quicker than I think anyone could have ever anticipated.
I don't know about anyone ever, man. If you watched his game, you knew how good he was. Obviously, with Mike Evans and even a healthy Chris Godwin there.
But if Evans,
there was some debate, but dude, like he was the real deal.
If Evans would have stayed healthy, you knew it was going to be another 1,000-yard season. Like you knew that Evans was still going to be the guy if he was healthy. You can't help but feel bad for the guy.
All right. On the way, Rachel Dory. We're going to talk about the Jays. We're going to talk about the Oilers. At 1:20 today, it's Daniel Nugent-Bowman. And at 1:40 today, it's Hi, my name is Declinations. And we don't know the sport, or we're going to have to do animal, mineral, vegetable to find out what he's talking about. It should be a lot of fun. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with
Killer is back, presented by Goodwill. October 24th versus the Calgary Stampeders, featuring pumpkin carving contest and more. Plus, we're collecting donations supporting Edmonton Women's Shelter Win House. Tickets at goelks.com.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Fall in the savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
For almost half a century, families, farmers, and mechanics across Alberta have trusted Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Why? Because we know cars and we know value. Hi, Lisa here. And whether it's keeping your work truck hauling or getting your teenager's first car back on the road, Ed's has the parts you need at prices you can afford. Reliable, affordable, local. That's Ed's Auto Salvage. With province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton, visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
You shake my nerves and you...
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Down on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Joined for 2 days in a row, same time, same bat channel. It's Rachel Krychak talking Toronto Blue Jays. That was pretty good, Rachel.
I've definitely experienced worse things in my life, Lowetide. My voice hurts a lot. I've had a lot of tea and honey this morning. And but you know what? It's worth it.
It is. The thing about baseball is great games, and that was a great game. It was a classic. It's a build, right? So you're outraged, whatever Josh Naylor was doing on the base paths. You're down 3-1. It's like, okay, they finally got Kirby out of there. Woo's there. Okay, nothing seems to be happening. And then there's a sliver of hope. And then the ultimate, Springer hits the home run, and then you've still got to get some outs, right? And for me, that's why baseball is great, because the worst, even worse than maybe being behind by 2, is being up by 1 with Hoffman coming in, and you still have to go through that absolute murder moment of getting the final 3 outs.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, it's not like a flow game like hockey or soccer. It's there's a finite amount of outs, and you're going to bat until you have 3 outs, and then they're going to bat until they have 3 outs. And that just is what it's going to be. And it's not, you don't get to say, okay, well, this guy's not hitting well, so like whatever. It's, who's coming up. You can prepare for it. There's a finite amount of outcomes that are associated with baseball. And it's one of the things that makes it so exciting. And as being a Toronto fan my whole life, I've really only ever had one team, and it's not even a Toronto team, that's never let me down per se. I mean, being down 3-1 and then up 4-3 into the 9th, like, I was so emotionally prepared to have my heart ripped out of my chest. And it seems like for the first time ever, a Toronto team did not do that to me. Which is, it's really nice to be on the other side of the comeback win for once.
And now, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers are coming to town. Shohei finally flying to Toronto. And it's, there are some advantages I think the Jays have. I understand the Dodgers are favored heavily, and, in fairness, they should be. But the pitching staff held together. The Dodgers have a great pitching staff, but they have a poor bullpen. And the Jays make contact. And I also don't know that they have a really good matchup in the bullpen for Vladdy. I don't know that they have a guy who can come in and for sure get Vladdy out. Maybe you walk him, but this is going to be an interesting matchup. Have you thought ahead to the Dodgers, or are you just basking in the glow of a wonderful victory last night?
I mean, I think part of it is I've heard a lot of, especially living in the New York general area, there's a lot of Yankees fans. And so, I mean, with my husband being one, I watched the World Series obviously very closely last year. The growing sentiment is that the Toronto Blue Jays, whoever won last night, be it the Mariners or the Blue Jays, it happens to be the Blue Jays, are one of the only things standing in the way of a lockout in 2027, because there's a lot of people who are rightfully real annoyed with how the Dodgers do business. And they're doing it to, we'll call it the letter of the law now. But I think there's going to be some legitimate conversation about how the baseball cap works and what you're allowed to spend on players. And so I look at this and yes, the matchup, I mean, don't pitch to Shohei. Like, just don't do that, please. Make anybody else beat you but him. And I think in terms of Vladdy, like, you have Blake Trinan, but he's really your closer. And so if you get in a situation where you're in the fifth inning and you need a guy, Blake Trinan's not the guy you're bringing in. And so it's going to be interesting. Certainly the Dodgers up and down the lineup are really something. I do think the Jays on the whole have better at-bats. They have a better plate approach because you get down into the back end of that lineup with the Dodgers, and it doesn't scare you as much as the back end of the lineup for the Jays because of the way that guys like Miles Straw and Addison Barger and Andreas Jimenez it can grind out at bats. And I think that could be the difference so long as they take the bat out of Shohei's hands. I don't want to see a single pitch thrown to him unless absolutely necessary.
One thing that is I want your opinion on, because I'm interested in the World Series. I'll watch the World Series, but from a fan point of view, is it painful to have to wait till Friday, or are you okay with waiting a few days?
I'm good with waiting a few days. I've asked my mother to ship all of my Blue Jays stuff down here. The Jays were actually nice enough to send me a jersey when my friend who works there found out that I didn't have one down here. So I've got a nice brand new Blue Jays jersey, but I want my hat and I want my hoodie. And I mean, I wasn't planning on having to spend money on World Series apparel, but that is an expense I am more than happy to deal with.
Well, it's a long time coming for Jays fans. And good on you for enjoying it, and good on your hubby for supporting you. Because it could be a once in a lifetime experience. That's the other thing. This doesn't happen every year.
Exactly. We're not, and this is what I kept telling him, like, throughout this whole run. We're not the Yankees. We're not the Dodgers, but he understands the Yankees part of it because, well, he's a Yankees fan. I go, this doesn't happen for us. And the easiest way for me to explain it is, sure, I worked for TFC when we won, and yeah, I was around for the Raptors, but growing up as a kid, the two Toronto teams I loved the most were the Jays and the Leafs. And this is the first time in my life, my actual life, and I'm going to be 30 in January, that a team I love and in the city that I am from is playing for a championship. I don't know if Dodgers and Yankees fans feel like this every year when their team plays in the World Series, but this is a fantastic feeling. And I feel like it's not even just people in Toronto. There's Calgary, you saw the reaction last night. I'm abundantly certain that we're going to see at least some Edmonton Oilers wear some Blue Jays apparel, whether it's Zach Hyman or Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl even. Like, I do think we're going to start to see this wave of, I guess, support. And I mean, by God, if Austin Matthews does not walk into Scotiabank Arena tonight wearing a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. sweater, he shouldn't be allowed in the building.
That's fair. All right, Oilers playing tonight. We'll check down to that and we'll let you go. The number 1,000 game for Adam Henrique, Kasperi Kapanen hurt, Jake Wallman back, and that he's going to be on the nurse pair. They are loading up the top line with Draisaitl, McDavid, and Podkolzin. I don't think the lines matter so much as starting to score 5-on-5. They've been slow off the gate. They were a year ago, at least McDavid and Draisaitl were. But at some point in time, the dam has to break, and a good place to do it probably Ottawa, because they're giving up a lot of goals every game.
Yeah, they're giving up a lot of goals. They're giving up scoring chances. Their possession says they probably should be better than they are. But the reality is it's about the quality of the chances that you're giving up. And when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers, you can ill afford to be giving them high quality opportunities. And you also need to stay out of the penalty box, because eventually that dam is going to break in a very significant way. So I think getting Jake Wallman back is going to be super important. He's a guy who can move the puck. He can defend well. He's just more of a steady presence back there. But at the end of the day, you need Draisaitl. You need McDavid. The fact that he still has a goose egg on the board when it comes to goals is shocking to me. So I do think that the Oilers, it's in a milestone game, you always are playing hard because it really does matter. And so I do think this might be the game that if the Oilers are going to have a get-right game, it feels like it needs to be tonight.
That's fair. Thanks for this. Appreciate it. Enjoy the day.
Thank you.
There you go, Rachel Krychak. I know I sometimes say Dory, but it'd take me, I'm old. Take me a while. It's funny when I felt the same way when the Eagles won, because the Oilers won in 90, and then it was a long time. I lost the Expos. The Eskimos / Elks were winning, but that's a 9-team league. So you expect they're going to win every once in a while. But until the Eagles won, and it was like, I don't know, over 25 years later after the Oilers won, I'd forgotten what it was like to watch a team that I cheer for win a championship. It was a great feeling. It really was. And now the Eagles won again. And what I hope for Jays fans is what I hope for Oilers fans. I hope your team wins one during your lifetime, and a period that you are not 7 or 97, where you really truly can enjoy it.
The reality of being a sports fan is like 99% of the time you're just watching your team lose.
Yes. Yep.
Right? Like there's a pretty finite amount expressed as a percentage for when you're actually going to see your team be a champion.
That's true.
It's tough being a sports fan.
It is.
They say sports fans are the most marginalized group of people in the world as a whole.
Do they say that with a straight face?
I certainly do.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's why the Oilers fans, historically, Oilers fans my age, really have no right to bitch. 5 Stanley Cups in 79, 21, 50, for less than 50 years.
But guys our age, like me, Sam, and Josh, we get to be a little bit angry about the best player in the world being here and not having won a cup yet.
And also, never let anybody tell you how to fan. If you're mad, be mad. It's okay. Some old guy telling you to chill because he's watched 5 Stanley Cups and had a few brewskis and attended some parades. That's not the same. Oh, by the way, McDonald's Canada is celebrating the return of hockey season with Fan Day deals every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Score a Big Mac, McChicken, or filet of fish Fan Day deal, for just $4.49 plus tax every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, only through the McDonald's app. You have to download the McDonald's app to score great deals and earn My McDonald's rewards towards free McDonald's. I did have the McChicken. It was very good. Did you have something, Josh?
I had a Big Mac and I put it down in 3 bites.
Wow.
You guys had McDonald's today?
Yes. You weren't here. You were hanging out in your car.
Probably. Do most of my work out there.
Hate that Lowetide. Then he comes in here. It was a very good McChicken. I'm sure it was a very good Big Mac, although 3 bites, have you heard the word
mighty
savor?
Impressive.
Yeah, savor is a word.
It was free. I have no problems not having to worry about savoring what's free. I just wanted to see if I could do it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Because SKS was out there. You watched him. They said he could get it down in 4.
Yeah.
And I watched him take 5 incredibly small bites. And I was like, I bet you I could get it down in 4 or less. And I did. I got it down in 3.
Yeah.
Getting it down in 2, we're getting into some unexplored territory there. But 3, it was doable.
Jim Horton said, sorry.
I was just going to say, like, is it even enjoyable if you're eating it in 3 bites? Like, you're just eating it as a challenge. Don't you want to, like, actually enjoy the burger?
Taste it?
Listen, man, it's a Big Mac. All right. There's
You know what you're doing.
Big Macs
yeah.
are good. There's a reason
Big
they're
Macs
so
are
popular.
fine,
Yeah.
but like just McDonald's as a whole.
Well, you did a good job. There's no doubt about
I
that.
prefer Wendy's.
McDonald's in 3. Didn't the Bruins win in 2011, LT, from Jim Horton? They did, and I should have mentioned that, but I'm like the Bruins are. I've been a Bruins fan since Orr, but they're sort of an outlier in my life. Now I love watching the Bruins, but I've been focused on the Oilers for so long that I really, if the Oilers were to win, it would have more impact on my life. I think that's fair, and I think that's honest. The Oilers need to cheer when they score a goal. Watch the second goal against Detroit last game. They didn't look like they're a preseason. It means nothing. Like, come on, from Dallas. I don't know. The whole body language thing, I'm a little over that. They don't care. Nobody's passing to Bouchard. Really? I don't know. I think we read a lot of things into things. So she's not an Argos fan? They've won a bunch. J-Dog. That's about Rachel. Well, it's the Argos are the same as the Elks or Eskimos Elks. And I feel the same way. It's a 9-team league, right? So it's not like, there's 32 teams in the National Hockey League. To win a Stanley Cup, just on the numbers alone, is far more difficult than winning a Grey Cup championship. That's fair, right? I'm not being cruel to the CFL.
No, I mean, absolutely. That's why yesterday when we were talking about the Elks and I was getting up in arms about them not having made the playoffs yet, or not having made the playoffs since 2019. It's a 9-team league. 6 make the playoffs. It's not that impressive to make the playoffs. You kind of just got to do it, especially when you're a storied franchise like Edmonton. And then once you get there, I'm not saying it's an easy path, it's still pro sports, but it's certainly an easier path to win that than it is going through grueling 7-game series or even the NFL where it's 1 game, a lot more parity there.
Yeah.
So it does, listen, I'm not going to say a pro sports team winning a championship, especially if you're a devout fan of them, means less, but it might mean a little less.
Right. And there are avenues. If your Rough Riders beat Winnipeg in the semifinals, and then beat Montreal in the finals, you're probably going to...
That would be the best case scenario
right.
for me.
You're probably going to appreciate the Grey Cup, but you're really going to appreciate the Grey Cup plus the Winnipeg victory, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, it's kind of in that sense, absolutely. But it's kind of you look at some of the rivalries. There are years, Ohio State, you would rather beat Michigan than you would win a national title.
I know that they feel that way.
Yeah. Well, it was, Woody used to have a famous quote. It was the Natty don't mean a thing if you don't beat Michigan, which is ironic because last year Ohio State won the Natty and did not beat Michigan.
Have you seen the tape where Woody hits that guy running down the field?
Oh, yeah.
Holy Annabelle. That's not sports.
Nope.
I mean, he's like a 75-year-old man doing that. It's a long time ago, and I'm sure he didn't feel great about it when he went home.
He was always a bit of a sicko. He had some character aspects that you were like, whoa.
And that is rare for college football coaches.
A lot of sickos and perverts out there. They're hanging around kids all day, bro.
All right, it's 12:56. On the way, we're going to talk to Daniel Nugent-Bowman. We also have, hi, my name is, we don't know what sport. We're flying blind. I mean, even more blind than usual. It's all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Time for a sports update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street. That's 11577 149th Street and bring your next flooring project to life. Edmonton Oilers game tonight, of course, as they take on the Ottawa Senators. Puck drop for that one at 5 p.m. Stuart Skinner in the starter's net. Other games in the NHL, we'll see the Devils and Maple Leafs and the Sharks and Islanders dropping the puck at 5. The late game today in the league, we'll see the Avalanche and Utah Mammoth out in Utah. NBA season kicks off tonight with a pair of games. Houston Rockets in Oklahoma City to take on the defending champion Thunder, and it's the Golden State Warriors in LA to take on Luka Doncic and the Lakers. WHL action tonight. The Edmonton Oil Kings playing host to the Spokane Chiefs. A 7 p.m. puck drop for that one down at Rogers. Tickets still available at the door or online. And in the sporting world, Corey Perry is set to make his LA Kings debut tonight for the Kings as they take on the Blues. And the Los Angeles Angels are hiring Kurt Suzuki as manager. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440 Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At the Nissan All-In Clearout, there's nothing more chill than financing an award-winning Nissan for just 0%. Enjoy the soothing relaxation of zero stress, zero worries, zero indecision.
During the Nissan All-In Clearout, get 0% financing plus up to $500 bonus on some of our best-selling models. You have zero reasons to wait. Conditions apply. See your local Nissan dealer today.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information. I hear the train.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 22nd. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$40 for Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com for details. Man, how many in this room have been, now some of you are a little bit underage maybe, but how many who are not underage in this room have ever been like on a Friday or Saturday night, maybe at a wedding in a barn, there's a live band, somebody's playing the fiddle, maybe you've had a wobbly pop, and you are on that dance floor and you're sweating through your shoes and you are having the best damn time of your life. Show of hands.
I've never been.
That's one.
I've never been to a wedding with a live band. It's all been DJs.
Same here.
That's sad.
And
I think that's much more akin to like our
generation.
I also haven't been to a wedding since I was like 14.
Yeah, because I was going to say you probably haven't had any friends get married.
No, not even close.
Well, because they're all in prison.
Shockingly not. No, I unfortunately for your narrative, none of my friends have been to prison. They're all pretty damn nice guys.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm the outlier there,
Okay.
clearly.
All right.
But no, everybody is.
But you're young. You'll end up getting married. You'll go to dances.
Yeah, I will. But I can't dance worth you know what. So
I got news for you. Most people can't. You just go out and have a good time. It's okay. You make a fool of yourself on the dance floor, and everybody will forget by Sunday morning. I know I have.
Unless they won't.
It's okay. You're at a wedding. Now, if you're at a wedding and you are related to the bride or groom, it's more difficult. I admit that.
I think it's more impactful. Like if your cousin or something is getting, it's not as impactful as if it's a friend. Now,
really?
Yeah, like at this age, because you're like, oh, you're seeing your friend kind of like get on with their lives. Like I got friends.
Any of you guys your sister? She gets married. It's not gonna be a big deal for you.
No, okay, yeah. Sister's one thing. But I'm just saying, like relatives, you kind of. This is how I feel anyway. Like it feels like you go to relatives' weddings more when you're young. And then friends' weddings around this age.
Okay. If you get married, are you going to invite me?
Nope. I will be. Who will I invite from Sports 1440? Connor, Josh Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say you better damn well invite me.
Probably not Donovan. Actually, probably just Connor and Josh. And I think that's the list.
The last wedding I went to,
and Jason, because he'll probably be funding it. Let's be
no
real,
Brandon
with my paychecks.
It's a tough scene.
The last wedding I went to was Lieutenant Eric and his lovely bride, Danny, invited us. We had a wonderful time. It was a very sweet wedding. I ended up talking to Eric's dad, and we had a wonderful time. It was, weddings are beautiful. They are. They're a reminder of what is good about life. And of course, I mean, the last wedding I was at that I wasn't in. I was in a wedding recently too.
Do you want to know the category for if you're invited to my wedding eventually or not?
Sure.
That is purely, have I ever been invited over to your house?
Oh, well, I won't be invited.
No.
The problem with inviting people you work with over to your house is then they know where you live.
I think you're the only person that views it that way.
They end up in your backyard and you don't know that they're in your backyard, but they're in your backyard. And you look out and you go, hey, there's a bunch of people I work with in my backyard. And you close the blind and go back to work.
So what are you scared? I'm going to be like Ghostface and randomly appear in your backyard?
No, I'm afraid
like
you're going to steal things.
That was Michael Myers.
No, I have no. I've done it all. I've done it all. So it's like you reach a point in your life. You will, honestly. It's like I mentioned the other day where you probably help people move, right?
Yeah.
After a while, you'll go, God, I'm sick of that. So then your final move into your house with your baby and your wife and all of that, you won't ask for anybody's help, and you'll tell people, I'm out of the helping business because you're tired of moving. There are people that I've known, buddies that I've had. I moved their inflatable whatever that they won't deflate to move. I've moved it like 6 times, and I'm like, I'm out on this. I don't want to do it anymore. You will get there.
I'm already there.
Okay, there you go. You haven't been to a good Ukrainian wedding on the farm in the 60s and the 70s with a band. Well, I'll tell you what. The thing about any Ukrainian wedding is you sit down and you have a meal, and then about 6 months later, you're hungry again. Ukrainian food is so good. Oh, my God. I love Ukrainian food. Favorite kind of food, boys? Probably pizza.
Italian.
Salmon and rice.
Just Italian pasta.
No, it's so good. It's good the next day. That's how good it is.
Oh, I'm also a big steak guy, so.
Well, there's nothing wrong with steak and pasta.
Nothing wrong.
No. If I eat and drink slow, I don't enjoy my food. I only enjoy it when I'm scarfing fast and taking huge bites from Chomskers. Well, you're well named, Chomskers. Edmonton Oilers play tonight against Ottawa, and I have a feeling that they're going to break out offensively at 5-on-5. Either they're going to break out offensively or Ottawa is going to break out offensively. But at some point in time, regression is a thing, good and bad. People think regression is always bad. It isn't. You can regress to the good, to the mean, or the meat. And I think the Oilers are overdue for a 5-on-5 barrage. Could happen tonight. And if it does, I suspect McDavid and Draisaitl will be a part of that. Does anybody disagree with that?
Well, I think they would have to be.
Well, Nuge has been scoring at 5-on-5.
No, Nuge has been playing well.
But so has Noah Philp.
I will say this though, Al. Like, for this team to get going offensively, I know people keep saying, "Oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming," and to a point, I agree. But to a point, you have to earn goals, and the Oilers just aren't doing anything that's going to earn them goals. They don't go to the front of the net. They're so perimeter, it's painful.
Well, Philp goes to the front of the net, and Nuge has been shooting the puck well. And if they give Savoy a chance on a skill line, I think he might. But I'll be honest with you. I know everybody's loving Kasperi Kapanen's game, but he's a big, rugged forward, and he could go to the net more than he does.
He does nothing for me, personally. I'm just bluntly
I hate
honest.
to pick on him because he's hurt, but I think it might be improvement by injury.
I would agree. Kasperi Kapanen is a player. I'll tell you this. There are about 4 guys who I look at and I say, you need to do more. And in the sense of that is go to the harder areas, do more in front of the net. That is Kasperi Kapanen, who obviously now hurt. Whenever he comes back, I'm expecting that. Vasily Podkolzin hasn't really done much of that this year. Trent Frederick, who I like, but hasn't really done much of that this year.
You're right, he hasn't.
And Adam Henrique, who, frankly, Adam Henrique scored the vast majority of his goals from in front of the net and around that area.
Do you think he should play wing instead? He's on the 4th line, usually with the kids, and I don't think it's a good spot for him.
I agree. It's not a great spot for him, but I look at that line and the 4th line with the kids, and why is that the line?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I would like to see Savoy on a skill line and Howard maybe on the 3rd line. I like Philp. I think you could build a 4th line around him. I don't know why they haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. And we're back to McDavid and Draisaitl again together today.
Yeah, I know. I think they want to get them going is why they're doing that.
Clearly they do, but at some point they're not going together. Your only guy who's really going up front right now is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And he is playing well.
He's playing really, really well. And I think Andrew Mangiapane's been going for the vast majority of these
Not
games
shooting
too.
enough, but yeah.
Not shooting enough, but he's been going offensively. The 2 guys who I want to probably get the others going with are Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who, did you think that first line was bad the other night? Like, they weren't good. They weren't particularly good, but they were the only thing that did anything.
You're right. They were the only guys pushing.
They were the only guys pushing. So why would you break that up? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you know me, I'll pretty much always question Chris Knobloch's lineup combos, but
I mean, I think I do give him a little bit of, because Broslovic was signed like in October, like the 8th. They've got to have a look at him because they've got till November 1st. So, I mean, I give him credit for that, but I would like my 4 centers. I would like McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Noah Philp, and put Henrique on the wing, because Henrique, he's playing his 1000th game today. He's 35 years old. He is not the player he was 10 years ago. And he's still an NHL player, no doubt about it. But I don't think you can count on him to drag 2 rookies around and have success. That's too much of an ask.
And it's too much of an ask for the rookies, too.
Yes, it is.
You're just creating a nothing line. It's like you have a good defensive player in Adam Henrique. Matt Savoy has shown to this point that he's a pretty solid defensive player. But then what's your line doing? That line doesn't really do much for me. And then I look at the 3rd line tonight, which is obviously got Philp, Frederick, and that line's, I don't know, that line played okay. I think that line's going to be fine. But in some respects, wouldn't you just want that to be a version of your 4th line? I don't know. I'm at a point with the line combos where I want to see Jack Roslovic given the opportunity to succeed, which he's going to have tonight. But I want to see Matt Savoy in a position to succeed. You want to see Jack Roslovic given the chance. And to points in this year, it hasn't really gone that way so far.
Yeah. Bad Captain says, I know it won't happen, but with Wallman coming back tonight, I'd sit Bouchard for a night. Anybody got an opinion on that?
Well, you can't do that.
You just can't do that.
If this was sit Bouchard, if that was sit Bouchard for a shift after his, first period calamity, we'll call it.
Right.
That I would have said, sure. But
how many S words are you
that, you know what? Sometimes your words come out in the wrong way.
Sure, but people don't have to draw attention to it. Like the host.
Like the host.
he could move on.
He could move on.
Could be classy about it. Guess not.
Instead of just sitting there and looking in your face and just laughing at you.
Look, I've been there. I have been there. I'm not going to tell you what I said, but it was a word.
I'll never forget when you said motorboating on it.
Yeah. EG said you'd sit Nurse before Bouchard. I mean, I think Nurse is a guy who eats a lot of minutes, and you need to have him out there. But I said it. I wrote it in the blog, and I said it the other day. We're a long way. We're like a decade into his career, and we're still looking for somebody who can play alongside Nurse. I hope it's Wallman, and I think Stetcher has had success. But at some point in time, at $9.25 million, he had a really good regular season last year. Not as strong in the playoffs. Might have been injury. Everybody seemed like they were banged up. But they need Darnell Nurse. They need him. They need him to be a 5-on. To contribute to 5-on-5 outscoring and to be solid on the penalty kill. They need that, and they're paying full bore for it. They need it. And I don't think they should be chasing a partner for him. But I don't think you sit him, and I don't think you sit Bouchard either.
You can't.
You need everybody. It's like somebody said there was flu. Others have said, well, they played a lot of games and they're probably just kind of meh or blah. And maybe all of that's true. But I always felt like when a team was challenged, and right now they're challenged because other teams are playing them and they're not. The Oilers going through the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. I don't know what the third state is. They looked easy to play against, and they made it to the finals a year ago. You can't be that easy to play against for the Detroit damn Red Wings. Sherratt looked good.
He did.
Axel
Sandin Pellico has played now 6 games.
Yeah, he looks really good.
He looks really good, but he's only played 6 games. Like, that was a prime position to go and attack a blue line that you look at that bottom 4 for Detroit. The highest total games was Jacob Bernard-Docker at 169 now.
Yeah.
Like, that's a prime opportunity to go over and take over an inexperienced blue line. They don't do much in the offensive zone. They're first in offensive zone possession time, but they do nothing with it.
Yeah.
They just perimeter.
Yeah, it's not good. I got to say that. All right, it's 1:15. Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic on the way next. And at 1:40 today, it's Declination. Hi, my name is We Don't Know the Sport. It's animal, mineral, vegetable. That's where we are with the show. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Edmonton Elks Spectacular is back, presented by Goodwill. October 24th versus the Calgary Stampeders, featuring pumpkin carving contest and more. Plus, we're collecting donations supporting Edmonton Women's Shelter Win House. Tickets at goelks.com.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the move, you're never more than a tap away from Sports 1440. Download the radio player or iHeart today. You can get all access anytime to Edmonton's only sports radio station, Sports 1440.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Performance by National Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill. Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on Made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Backed by popular demand, Folsom Prison Revisited. The story of one of the greatest concerts in history returns to the Jubilee Auditorium November 27th. Step back in time before, during, and after this iconic Johnny Cash performance. You'll relive an event that changed the life of Johnny Cash and changed music forever. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca and the Jubilee box office. Brought to you by Stars and Stories Live.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Joined now by Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic. Daniel, in Ottawa, been a long trip for you.
Will I ever make it home? It sounds like a country song, right?
Yeah,
yeah. It's Twang Tuesday. There's a country song to be had about this everlasting journey, but it will, mercifully, it will end, and I'll be back home by tomorrow afternoon. So,
okay, so it's like Leduc by Wednesday. Then is the song.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
There you
Got a
go.
nice ring to it.
There you go. So look, I know road trips because I've talked to a lot of people over the years about these road trips, and they can be a lot of fun, but it helps when the team is winning and playing well. And we've heard bad ice, we've heard influenza, we've heard lots of things, but the product on the ice has been choppy, and the passes haven't been strong, and there have been a lot of defensive gaffes. It's been a struggle for the team for sure, and you've been writing brilliantly around it. But at this point in time, are you just kind of looking for the team that everybody thought would be playing in the Edmonton Oilers threads tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking to a few players today. I think everyone wants to get off to a good start. Nobody wants to be, you lose 3 games in a row right off the bat, and lose them in pretty similar manners. Just like you're saying, pretty sloppy, not a lot of offense, not a lot of offensive generation, like creation in the offensive zone, a couple of defensive mistakes here and there. Other than the Rangers game, average or maybe a touch below average goaltending. So, but they are a team that I think they're a pretty veteran team. There's not a lot of worry that I sense around this group. And they're a team that just needs to get into the playoffs. I think. I think this team will get better as the season goes along, and they get Zach Hyman back. They're getting Jake Wallman back tonight. These players, especially the younger guys, that they're trying to integrate into the group up front, get a little bit more comfortable and figure out what the right roles for them are. I think things will kind of work themselves out over time. And again, they're a team that just, to me, needs to get in and kind of playing well rather over the last, third of the season and carry that in. So as much as, all we have are the 6 games to judge, and the last 3 haven't been, maybe even 4 haven't been particularly great. They're still in a better spot than they have been over the past couple of starts to the season. And they have a chance to build on that. Now, obviously, the one concern is Kasperi Kapanen with him being out for a little while, but I don't think that's a massive loss that it would be with the potential for other different players being out. So they'll be able to get by, and the team, I think, should be getting better slowly but surely here.
And it's also true. It's also true that there's auditions going on. David Tomasic getting back into the lineup. Jack Roslovic is a guy they've got to see. They just have to watch him, get into games here during October, because November is coming quickly. So there's reasons why the lineup looks like it does. And I like Tomasic's game, but as is the case with a lot of these guys, they do have to score.
Who he reminds me of a bit is Alex Chiasson.
Yes.
I don't know if the boots maybe are a little bit better. Like, they're still not great. Like, you wouldn't be known for being a blazer or being a high end skater. But he's really crafty. I think he's probably got a bit of a better shot than Alex Chiasson, or at least that's what he's probably known for, or has been known for in the SHL the last couple of years. But yeah, you come into the NHL at 29 and you're trying to figure it out. You're also being put in a position on the power play that you never really had before. Like, he's been a shooter, off the side, and now he's the net front guy. And he had a nice little pass to Draisaitl. I think it was the Calgary game or maybe the Vancouver game, one of the early ones. Really in tight there on the power play, but otherwise, there's a really struggle to find his touch around the net. But again, I think a guy that will have a pretty long rope here. Obviously, as a waiver guy, he's only on a 1-year contract. If it just doesn't work out toward the end of the year, you can always add and him just be extra guy, really. But I think they're going to give him a fair bit of runway here to work things out and see what they have in that player, and that goes for other guys too. Like, will Isaac Howard at some point need to go down to Bakersfield? Maybe, but with Kapanen out, that becomes a little bit of a less of a pressing issue until Hyman comes back, maybe. So, how will Matt Savoy do? A couple other guys that they're working in, right? But I think there's a lot of upside with some of these players, and again, they have the time, given where they are and the type of team that they are, that they can work some of these kinks out without too much of an issue.
It's funny you mentioned that about Tomasic because he's on the fourth line with Henrique and Howard tonight, and I think I think his role, you know, if Roslovic does work out or if Savoy emerges, I think his role might be as a middle or bottom six on the right wing. I like him, but if you're playing with him, Henrique as an example, he could take strong side faceoffs, and he does have more of a range of game than maybe just a pure scorer like Roslovic. He can do some things, and I think he could play and help out score in middle six. Do you agree?
I do. The one thing, and this was pointed out to me by his general manager in Sweden and Farstad, Ricard Wallin, the former NHL player, is you need to be cognizant of not getting lost early on and getting confidence early. He said that, you know, for himself personally, he had 2 little stints in the NHL, one with Minnesota, one with Toronto, and the second time with Toronto, kind of didn't find a groove, and then that whole season was just really tough for him. He came over around the same age the second time around, you know, late 20s, like Tomasic, and I think there is that offensive capability in Tomasic, given how well he'd scored over the last couple of years in Sweden, and if they could just find a way to, you know, they played him with McDavid a little bit. Obviously, he's getting that power play time. They just find a way to keep him in the offensive mix. And hope that, you know, he gets 1 or 2 or makes a couple nice passes that turn into goals or whatever, then that could really kind of spearhead a bit of an offensive push from him, because I think that's where you're hoping you see a little bit more upside. But I do agree that he can be useful in other parts of the game, and that will keep him in the lineup more often than not while the team is in this situation.
Yeah, it's a fascinating time for this organization because, you know, I get a lot of texts from people saying this is what happens when you don't have Evander Kane and you don't have Corey Perry, and I always thought that the deal was you were bringing in players like Savoy and Roslovic and Ike Howard and Tomasic, and it wasn't necessarily how they started, it was how they finished, where they were in the spring. Nobody can argue that this group has the kind of NHL experience the Oilers had a year ago, but they're looking for speed, they're looking for maybe a little bit more skill, and in the case of the young players, players that they can project into the future at value contracts.
Yeah, and especially, you know, those 2 you mentioned and the younger guys in Savoy and Howard, like, you know, one guy's got 2 years left on his ELC, one's got 3. You're locked into a nice cap hit. That by the end of these contracts, they should be pretty useful NHLers and helping you out quite a bit. Roslovic, yeah, that's a bit of a wait and see, like, kind of trial situation. I guess same with Tomasic, both on 1-year deals. Pretty low cost, both over $1 million, but certainly they're not tied to anything long term with either of those players. But both certainly with the potential to do, you know, better than they have so far. And in Roslovic's case, I mean, he's very new. So yeah, I just think again that there's so much a time here to get things figured out that they shouldn't be too worked up about a few game stretch where the offense really has been sputtering. But at some point you do need to obviously get it going and get things figured out, because they can't keep scoring, you know, 1 even strength goal, 2 goals a game. Basically, that's not going to help them too much in terms of winning hockey games.
Jake Wallman is back, first game of the year. One of the things that I love about him is that he can play left or right. He can play top 4 or move down to the bottom pairing. One thing I worry about is staying healthy, and the Oilers are routinely quite vague about, you know, day to day, and it can turn into week to week. But this is an important player and somebody to watch tonight, Jake Wallman, who'll be lined up with Darnell Nurse.
Yeah. It basically took a month or almost a month for him to come back. I think basically he played the 1 preseason game. I'm almost certain, if my memory is correct, I saw him on the ice one day shortly after the first preseason game, and then that was it. And it was, oh yeah, he'll be ready for the last preseason game. Oh, he'll be ready for the home opener, or the season opener. Oh, he'll be ready by the weekend. Again and again and again. And figure we are game 7, and he's finally ready. So it's, you know, it's October 21st now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took about a month for something that was supposedly pretty minor. Knobloch, I did ask him late last week, there was a setback or something kind of wrong here, and he said, well, you're just being cautious. But I mean, I think he would have wanted that player in the lineup a bit earlier, but again, it's a time of the year where you're more concerned about not wearing anyone out and taking, if you do need a little extra time to take it, as opposed to rushing somebody back. So that's where, I think Troy Stetcher's game maybe hasn't been quite at the level that it has been in the past early on in the year, but that's still a serviceable player that you can put in. Regula was on the ice today. Supposedly, although we're talking about inconsistencies with injury updates, like he's supposed to be targeting to come back pretty soon and maybe will. So I think you get Wallman back, you get Regula back, and that, Ty Emerson and then Troy Stetcher below, I think you do have the makings of a pretty good top six, and we'll see where it goes from there. But it is nice for the Oilers' sake that they are getting kind of their full cavalry of players back on the blue line.
Regula gets activated. A Stetcher trade or waivers? What do you see happening there?
Yeah, I do think he's the odd man out. I think the coaching staff is starting to value a lot more of what Ty Emerson could bring, being younger, having another year on his contract, trusting him more in the penalty kill. Also, he was the guy that was brought in after they decided not to match Philip Broberg, so there's a little bit of clout there for that player within the organization. I do see Stetcher being the odd man out. To me, he'd be a really tough guy to sneak through waivers as somebody who makes a shade over the league minimum and is a right shot. I don't think they want to lose that guy just in case. So, trade or waivers, I'm not sure. I think you probably try to sneak them through waivers, but if they want to do them a solid and maybe get a low pick back, I could see a trade. But, they're going to wait till the very end, last minute, because this roster situation late in training camp seemed like an issue. It seemed like an issue early in the season, even last week. And now here we are. And with Kapanen getting hurt, they still don't need to do anything with the roster. So they'll kind of slow play this as long as they can before they really need to make a decision.
Yeah, that we're sure of, right? With injuries and with waivers, it's you slow play it and you let everybody know when you absolutely have to make a move. Daniel, safe trip back, okay? Thanks for your help.
You're very welcome. Talk to you next week.
There you go. Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic. On the road. Long road trip for this team. Not a successful road trip for the Edmonton Oilers. Remember, when they started out on the road, they were 1-0-1. And since then, they've gone 1-3-0. So their record is 2-3-1. A win tonight, and they come back, and they're 3-3-1. And I think people will be fairly happy. They're at home to Montreal, then on the road to Seattle, Vancouver. And at the end of the month, they're at home to the Mammoth and the Rangers. So still plenty of work to do, 12 games in October. On the way, it's Declanations. Hi, my name is Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Fully Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by transfer. See rules in app.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on Made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Krueger Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for Kids Sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to JasonKruegerPizzaPigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Island Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
GMC's 0% event is on now. Get 0% financing on all remaining 2025 GMC models on limited terms, like the 2025 Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab at 0% financing for 84 months, the 2025 Terrain Elevation All-Wheel Drive at 0% financing for 60 months, and the 2025 Canyon at 0% financing for 36 months. No matter what you need, there's a GMC for you. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
When you've just got to get your pigskin fix in, it's Game On! Game On is Sherwood Park's new home for game night and good times. Every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, Game On wants to see you cheer on your favorite American football teams with 40-plus TVs to watch. You can enjoy $7 pints of Molson and Miller Lite, as well as $7 dry ribs. Get your squad together and book a table online at GameOnSP.ca. Are you ready for some football? Then it's Game On! Game On Kitchen, Sports Bar, Arcade, Baseline Road, Sherwood Park.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. My compliments to Declan for playing great Twang Tuesday music. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Chad Eddy says, had to run to Unity, Saskatchewan today. App is working great. Looks lovely in Unity. That's straight south of Maidstone. On your way to Rosetown or wherever you might be going.
What's a Rosetown?
Rosetown by Kindersley, Saskatchewan.
I've been to Kindersley.
Okay, well then you weren't far from Rosetown.
I have a lot of my my stepdad's family lives in or used to live in Atonia.
Atonia, I've been there.
Like 200 people.
Which is different than Ituna. You've got to keep them all straight. It's all good. I always thought Tina Turner, she had an album called Tina. She should have followed it up with iTuna. It would have been great. All right, it is time for Declinations, brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out new website, elksnation.ca, articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. The man, the myth, the legend, Declan Krueger here to make us all angry with Declinations. Hi, my name is.
I love Hi, my name is.
And no paying attention to any social media that might give you clues.
No text line, no Declan's Outlook.
Okay, clue number 1.
No trips to the bathroom.
I was at least a 4-time
champ.
At least a 4. What was? There's a vagary about it.
Can't give us the exact number.
4 or more.
Michael Jordan.
Why would you be able to?
4 people guess it. Like that's up to 28 guesses. I feel like you guys might have to agree on 1 or 2.
How about a nice big cup of
Give me Shaquille O'Neal.
How about I just want to say his name today because I have his jersey on and he's my guy. George Springer, baby.
How about
he doesn't
Teoscar Hernandez? Thought he might have won some Mexican leagues.
All right, so we should agree on this next one before we guess.
No, we're not doing that. Did you not hear me say, how about a nice big cup and shut the... We're just going to guess. We don't care. You're not giving us any clues.
I wouldn't exactly say we don't care. You don't care.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Why is he saying at least one? I don't understand this.
Because if he gives us specifics this early, it would be too easy.
Hi, my name is Wayne Gretzky.
Your name is not Wayne Gretzky.
4 championships and at least 1-time MVP.
At least 4 championships.
Well, Wayne won 4.
Let's go.
28 guesses. I'm going to 35 guesses.
Bobby Ortiz?
Who's that?
Or maybe I got his
David?
David Ortiz.
Big Poppy?
Big Poppy.
Not him.
I'm gonna roll with
Bobby Ortiz.
Yeah, Bobby. Derek Jeter.
It is not Derek Jeter.
Hi, my name is Wardell Stephen Curry.
It is not Steph Curry. Good guess though.
He does have 4 exactly.
Clue number 3. I led my sports league in one significant category at least 10 times.
Damn.
Hi, my name is Dennis Rodman.
Good guess. Your name is not Dennis Rodman. That's a really good guess.
That's a
Doesn't have
really
an
great
MVP,
guess.
but it's a good guess. Not Dennis Rodman.
I'm just gonna throw him out there. Hi, my name is Barry Bonds.
Your name is
No
not
rings.
Barry Bonds. No rings.
Yeah, I didn't win. Which
Give me Randy Johnson.
Not Randy Johnson.
Hi, my name is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Your name is not Kareem.
I was going to actually say that. That's a good one.
At least we knocked that off from the La
He was in
Lakers.
Airplane. Great movie.
Clue number 4.
Unbelievable movie.
I am top 3 all time in my sport in the same category.
Top 3 all time in my sport. Same category.
Am I Bill Russell?
Good guess. You're not Bill Russell. Good guess.
That's a good guess.
Hi, my name is Henry Aaron.
You are not Hank Aaron's.
Wait, sorry. What was it again? Top 4 in
top 3 in his sport all time in the same category that he led the category in 10 times.
Okay.
All right, so this is not a basketball player.
I thought you were going to say this is not a serious question.
How dare you? This is a great question. Hi, my name is Yogi Berra.
Your name is not Yogi Berra.
Always good to say the name Yogi Berra, though. Great name.
I don't think it's A-Rod. I'll just guess A-Rod.
Your name is not A-Rod. Clue number 6. I played over 20 seasons.
God.
Hi, my name is Gordie Howe.
Your name is not Gordie Howe.
Hi, my name is Nolan Ryan.
Your name is not Nolan Ryan.
28 guesses.
How many have we been through now?
28.
Man, oh man.
Oh, give me Tom Brady.
That's a good guess.
That is
Oh
a
my
good
God!
guess.
Wait, how have we not gone to
I can't believe
NFL?
we haven't
yet?
gone to
Oh
NFL
my
Not
yet.
Tom Brady, but that's a good guess.
Who's been upright 10 years in a row?
How did we not get this already? I have my next guess locked and loaded.
Peyton Manning doesn't have the rings. It can't be Peyton Manning. It can't be. Yeah, it can't.
You're right.
It's
Never
4. It
mind.
can't be
That's right.
Peyton Manning.
I got that and
'Cause
MVPs mixed up.
That's exactly
That's
where
right.
I went to first, but it's can't be Peyton.
5 MVPs, 2 chips for Peyton.
Ridiculous. Stat line.
Man, I don't know. Just next clue.
Clue number 6. I was involved in a historically significant trade.
The hell kind of clue is that?
Well, it's just typical.
How many people get traded that are all-time greats like this?
Oh,
It's not Wayne
actually,
Gretzky though, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
well, he was
We haven't
sold.
said LeBron James, have we?
LeBron wasn't traded though. You only got signed.
LeBron was never traded. Does this okay? No, this is an important question. He was involved in, which means he was a person who was traded.
I was involved in a historically significant trade. That's the clue.
Okay. All right.
What about Russell Wilson? He traded sports.
Zinger.
Noted Chicago White Sox. Russell Wilson.
Hi, my name is Joe Montana.
Your name is not Joe Montana.
Hi, my name is Greg Maddux.
Good. That's a good guess. Your name is not Greg Maddux.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Babe Ruth.
Well done.
Your name is, in fact, Babe Ruth. And clue number 7, for anyone who's interested, I go by a nickname. Now, what's crazy about this one?
Didn't I say Babe Ruth earlier in the show?
No.
Okay.
Only one person on the text line got Babe Ruth. Shout out Devtron. He did, in fact, get it correct.
Well, didn't Babe Ruth play in like 1905?
It's not that long ago.
I think it was 1920s
20s and 30s.
10 or 11. I know he's on the 14 Red Sox.
Of course it was Babe Ruth.
I was thinking everybody but, and then I just immediately went like Yankees.
In fairness to us, though, when you don't know the sport, it really makes it.
No, but that was
No.
fun. I really liked that.
No.
Because his all-time greats. So like we're not trying to guess, who's the relief pitcher for the 2000,
Sure.
who's the closer for the 2008 Blue Jays for 13 games or something,
I'm not trying to guess who is the current 4th line center for the Vegas Golden Knights, Colton Sissons.
By the way,
Shout out Colton Sissons.
somebody guessed Ricky Henderson, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Josh Naylor of the Seattle Mariners stole 30 bases this year, and he's not fast, and he's a little thick, right?
He's in the third percentile for speed.
His nickname, Ricky Henderson, is the all-time stolen base record. So Naylor's nickname in Seattle is Thicky Henderson.
I like it. I like it.
He's got himself the bag, I'll tell you that.
He's probably going to get a 6-year deal instead of like a 3-year deal.
Him and Eugenio Suarez,
Yeah,
both are getting the bag.
for sure. I agree with
Undoubtedly.
My bad with the mic set for a sec. Sorry, guys.
Was there something wrong with the microphone?
There was for a second. I was trying to shut off Josh's mic over there. Initially, shut off Donovan's mid sentence. Apologize, Donovan. Then I tried to fade it down, faded Lowetide all the way down.
Okay.
So it was 0 for 2. My apologies.
All right. Lowetide was in high school during Babe Ruth's prime. Can we block Wade? Can we just block Wade? That'd be my payment for the month.
That is, I mean, Hall of Fame text by Wade right there.
What was the answer? Babe Ruth. I had to step away for 2 minutes. We don't allow that, B. We like you to stay. Now, people who are on the show leave all the time.
Yep.
But
you'd never know because you don't see the behind the scenes.
But they are moving is what they're doing. A
We
lot
gotta-
of
we
people
gotta
walk
do something
behind you,
about
though.
that.
So,
Mhm.
well, I've thought about nailing the door shut, but it seems a little drastic.
I think you should just nail Josh to his chair. I think that would solve
Josh has ants in his pants.
the majority of this problem.
Yeah. Remember when you were a kid in school and the teacher wouldn't say, "Why are you wandering around?" They'd say, "Do you have ants in your pants?" or some
Yes.
ridiculous thing, right?
Yes. Josh has ants in his pants.
He does. Have you been to Turtle Lake before, LT? I love Turtle Lake. If I could afford to buy a cottage or house there, I would. I love Turtle Lake. I grew up in 17 miles north of Maidstone, just past Silver Lake. You know where the Allen store used to be? At the Allen store, if you turn left coming from Maidstone and you go up 2 miles, we lived at McLaren School. That's where we lived. So we were going across to Turtleford all the time. And Turtle Lake is flat out gorgeous. I would love to live in Turtle Lake. Babe Ruth wasn't traded. He was sold for cash. I thought of that, but I think he was later on he was traded, maybe to the Boston Braves. I'd have to look that up.
Well, that's like people saying Wayne Gretzky wasn't traded.
He was, but it was a sale. But there were players involved, so it was a trade.
Babe Ruth was traded. He was sold, but it was considered a trade.
Yeah. Well, it was an exchange of, it was a transaction, so you could technically call it a trade. But I thought he had a deal. Maybe he got released to them. Holy man. Does he have a long bio? I'm still going. He did stuff. There's no doubt about that. Okay. He was purchased with Ernie Shore and Ben Egan by the Boston Red Sox from Baltimore, purchased by the Yankees from Boston, released by the Yankees, and then signed with the Boston Braves. So he was purchased twice by Boston from Baltimore, the International League, and then by the Yankees.
Man, could you imagine letting go of Babe Ruth?
Well, it's dumb, but I mean, the Pirates didn't get much for Barry Bonds either.
And the Pirates aren't going to get much for Paul Skeens either.
God, and they've wasted his career.
Hopefully he's gone soon.
Just for him, because his arm could blow up anytime. He's just pitching brilliant, Hall of Fame pitcher on a team that can't afford uniforms. It's just awful. It is. All right. Jason Krueger is on the way. Going to talk about that game last night in the Major Leagues of Baseball and tonight in the NHL in Ottawa as the Oilers play on the road. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your fridge just got an upgrade. Over 200 chef-prepared gourmet meals waiting at Loca Quality Market. Shop local at loca.ca. NHL action tonight. The Edmonton Oilers in Ottawa to take on the Sens. A 5 p.m. puck drop for that one. Stuart Skinner going to be in the starter's net for the Oil. Other games at 5, we'll see the Devils and Maple Leafs and Sharks and Islanders. The late game today in the NHL, we'll see the Avs in Utah taking on the Mammoth. NBA season kicking off today. Houston in Oklahoma City at 5:30 and Golden State in LA taking on the Lakers at 8. In the WHL, the Oil Kings will be playing host to the Spokane Chiefs. A 7 p.m. puck drop for that one down at Rogers. Other news around the sporting world include Corey Perry, former Edmonton Oilers, set to make his LA Kings debut as they take on the St. Louis Blues, and the Los Angeles Angels are hiring Kurt Suzuki as manager. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.